In this tutorial, we'll take a look at the Sales Inquiries functionality in JobPro. So in the top menu that's available on every screen, we've got the Enquiries module. But also on the home screen, where we've got the Quick View area, you can click on the little Quick View arrow underneath Enquiries to view any current inquiries that are on the system, and you can filter out by specific identities if you've got multi-company or departments or offices. And you can also filter out then by our rep. So just to view your own inquiries that are related to you. Now in here then, if we want to click on a specific inquiry to follow up on it, we just click on there and we're then brought into the Enquiries module. So an inquiry doesn't necessarily have to be from a company or an individual that you've never dealt with before. It could be from an existing customer. So let's just say customer rings up. We go into their company record, we do a search or click on a list, we pull up the specific customer. We can, for example, create an inquiry from here. So they've called you up and they're letting you know what they're interested in. So create a new inquiry for this customer and their details appear in here. Or you can alternatively change it to a different contact for this company. Then down the bottom we can insert requirements relating to this inquiry and any communications also relating to the inquiry. Like we could, for example, just create some notes, or if we're making phone calls from here relating to an inquiry, it'll automatically create a phone log in the communication section, or we can create an email, letter or fax, SMS message, or just send a message to another internal JobPro user as well from here. So if you also sell directly to individuals as opposed to companies, if we go into contacts and look at a company or a customer from an individual point of view, we've also got an Enquiries tab where we can create an inquiry from here, but in this case specific to an individual. Alternatively, we can just go into the Enquiries module, create a new record. Let's say it's for somebody that you haven't dealt with before. Then you can enter in their company details, first name, last name, and various other information like their address and contact information over here. And if that inquiry then is going to turn into a customer, to save you having to retype all the information again, either in companies or contacts or both, what you can do is you can click options and you can create customer record from here. But in this case, let's just link this to an existing company that we've been dealing with. So we'll pick this customer. And if you need to, you can change the contact. We can put in a status of the inquiry and a rating as well. And also we can input the address here if it's a different address, or manually type in address if we need to. Also the contact information, if it's been entered in at the company or individual level, would pull in here automatically, or we can manually type in contact information here as well. Also we can put in the department of the contact, the type of company. So a lot of this information over here is for companies or contacts that you haven't dealt with before. The category, the inquiry value, number of staff referred by for marketing purposes is very useful, and the rep as well as dealing with this inquiry. You can also assign it to an identity. So if you use multiple identities in the system, like multi-companies, multi-office, you can then insert a different identity there. So let's put in some brief details. Now on the quotes tab relating to an inquiry, we can create multiple quotes. So let's say for example we create a quote, and in here then we can add some product onto that quote. So let's say we're picking something from stock. We put in a quantity. Now if this quote was approved, you do have the ability from here also to create a job from the quotation. So it may not necessarily be about selling products, but it can also be obviously about selling services as well. So let's say you wanted to create a job from this quotation. We can go into options and we can create job. Now what will happen here is, first of all, it'll say set the status of the quotation to approved. We click yes, and it'll generate the job details in here. Now because this particular inquiry was relating to a company and a contact that's already in the system, it didn't ask us, did we want to introduce that company or contact as a new customer in the company or contacts modules. So you would have been prompted for that on the creation of a job, and then it would have done all the other work for you automatically. So let's go back to the previous quotation. We can see on the job screen here that this job is created from this quotation. And also from here we can actually navigate back to the sales inquiry. So either we could click on Enquiries up here, or if we click on this link, it'll bring us to the customer, or we also have the ability to go back into the inquiry from here. So multiple ways of navigating around the system. It's just a case of you'll learn all the different options you have for navigation, and from wherever you are you'll pick the quickest way to get to wherever you want to go. So now we're back looking at the inquiry record. We can see the inquiry for that, or the quote for that inquiry. Now we would have also had the ability from the quotation to create a new revision. So let's say that wasn't approved, that was submitted, but at the point of this one being submitted, the customer wants you to come back and re-quote on that plus something else. Well, there's a couple of options. You could edit the original quote, but usually you're better off to create a new revision or a duplicate of the quote. So if we go into options and select duplicate current quotation, and we create a new revision. Now what that means is that it sets the original quote to amended, and it creates a new quote that's in progress. So let's add an extra item to this. Now if we go back into inquiries, we can see that the original quotation has been amended and there's a new in progress quotation. So you could then go in, if that was approved, you can set the status of that quotation to approved. Okay, so the next tab in inquiries is for tasks. So this is ideal for if you want to create any quick follow-up tasks relating to this inquiry, like maybe to remind you to do a phone call, or to do an email, for example, or even just a reminder to call out on site, do a site visit, or do a quotation. So we create a task from here, and it's relating to this inquiry, and we can say site call out. We could set the task type to be anything you like. You can specify those task types in setup. We could allocate it to a different contact or multiple contacts, and also set up alerts in relation to this as well, based on a date and a time. So clicking on this gives you the ability to view the inquiry or view the actual company record. So let's say we want to go back to the inquiry record. Then we can see any tasks that are in here. And obviously you can use the full task module to be able to do reports or search on any task that you need to follow up on. So for example, back on the home screen, we've got our quick view to view any inquiries at the moment, but also you can use the quick view for tasks to see any tasks that you might need to do, or just literally go into the task module, do a search on any task that you might have to do today or this week, or you'll also get alerted or reminded about tasks based on the alerts feature. So the alerts functionality is covered in a separate video tutorial as well. So also from an inquiry screen, we can link documents or add new documents to an inquiry. So you might, for example, create additional documentation, or do something in relation to this inquiry in another program like an Excel spreadsheet, a Word document or something, and you want to link that document to this inquiry, or also you could link it to the quote as well, so that it's additional documentation or information relating to the inquiry can be put in here. And when you save the document to this inquiry, it'll copy the document into the documents folder on your server or onto the JobPro folder on your own computer if you're using a single user version of JobPro, and it'll also appear in the documents module here, where you can see the usage for that document came from an inquiry record, for example. So on the other tab in Enquiries, there's just general other information like end result or comments relating to the inquiry, and you've also got a few custom fields where in setup you can specify for every new inquiry you create what to default the field names for the custom fields here. There's also the list screen available that's in every module, so you can use this for finding and sorting information. And also on the options tab, we've got various options in here like finding certain types of inquiries, or for the current inquiry we can create them as a customer record, create an email, fax, letter, quotation, sales order, print requirements as well. Or also for the found set of records, we've got various report options like printing a profile list, printing a mini list, or print a referral report that shows you for the found set of records or inquiries that you're looking at, where were they referred to from, for example, a website listing, Google AdWords, anything you like. Then we've got a print listing group by identity. So that's like a report based on your different identities that you might use in the system, like different companies or different departments that are using the one system. And also you have the ability that for a found set of inquiries, you can create a mail shot using the mail shot wizard. So this is like a mail merge or a mail blast feature for doing emails, letters, faxes, and also you can send out group SMS messages for the found set of inquiries. And to finish off, it's worth showing you that on the dashboard you can view all your current inquiries as well and filter out by different contacts if you have the access privilege to change the filter to view other users' information like inquiries and other parts of the system.